So I'm delighted this afternoon to be with Kevin Davidson. Kevin Davidson, who's got a legal background before moving into property in terms of the property angel. Kevin, you graduated from University of Aberdeen. You went into a traditional legal, property legal background, and then you've moved on to the property angel. Do you want to explain to the listeners a little bit more about your background and how you moved into the property angel?
Yeah, of course, Brendan. Thanks for having me. And I went to Aberdeen University and I did my traditional degree there and just did 3 years. And then we do a diploma. And I got very quickly into working in a traditional legal firm, basically a property-related legal firm up in Aberdeen. Got thrown into the deep end when one of the partners actually had a skiing accident, and I was then helping the senior partner. And in my first year of traineeship, was doing stuff that was well beyond where I would have expected to be in year one. That helped me get through becoming an assistant, an associate, and then a partner at the age of 26 within that legal firm. But I had want to really be in control of my own destiny. I was probably entrepreneurial from an early age, and I set up my own legal firm in 2001 and concentrated very much on providing world-class service to clients in terms of buying and selling, because in Scotland we're able to sell property as well in that traditional estate agents. So we can be solicitors and estate agents, and everything else that went around that as well, by way of powers of attorney, wills, and all those life and death matters that everything goes around buying and selling property.
So Kevin, you've moved from a legal perspective to a more holistic perspective to help people who are buying property. Why moving from a safe background in terms of being a lawyer to being an entrepreneur, which I see is completely different? What was the purpose? Why did you move from the comfort of being a lawyer?
Yeah, I mean, I've been entrepreneurial since I was about 16. I'd organised events similar to yourself, in fact, Brendan, and it was more on the leisure side of things. And I had always seen Richard Branson as a role model. He set up companies. He was very entrepreneurial. I don't think you can really be that as a lawyer. So I, from a mid stage of my legal firm, I got involved in property myself. I bought 1 or 2 properties. I also built up a portfolio within the firm of leased properties that we then eventually sold out to a national as well. And having had that foresight probably 6 or 7 years before it, you need recurring income to then make a saleable business. So I had split the legal and the leasing out into separate companies as well. When I sold the leasing company, I also backed the legal business into another legal firm, and was working in a fairly safe environment in that I was getting well paid for working 4 hours a day, but had an itch to scratch, and that itch was I wanted to change the way the world moved home. I felt that there was the traditional property industry very much erected barriers to stop consumers either doing property stuff themselves or connecting potential buyers, potential sellers. And so I set up a precursor to the Property Angel and learned lessons there, and then set up the Property Angel because we want to put the consumer at the heart of everything that we do. And I just felt that the traditional property industry didn't do that. They were very much engaged in looking after their own interests, and very much like Amazon will obsess about the consumer. That's really our mission, is to obsess about the property consumer with the Property Angel.
Now, obviously, at the moment, transactions aren't taking place, or not a huge amount of transactions are taking place. That's the key thing to know. So the question is how to, in the sense of how are you managing your business operations right now, because no one expected what we're experiencing, or very few people really had foresight.
Yeah, I mean, our business is very much about knowing and uncovering those property consumers who are looking and thinking about buying, thinking about selling, thinking about investing, thinking about developing. Now, that can be up to 12 months ahead. So we have got a coming soon marketplace within our website that allows potential sellers to test the market for free. And so not what's for sale, and potential buyers can get a heads up on properties that are going to be coming soon to the market as well. So for us, I've actually been busier than I've been in the months leading up to that, because everyone's asking what's going to happen, what advice, what guidance can you give us, what support can you give us ahead of us coming out of this. And so for us, it's unlocking, it's uncovering, it's speaking to people who are thinking about moving. It's building relationships as well, Brendan, with those world-class property partners that we have engaged with already. That's solicitors, estate agents, mortgage brokers, architects, builders. And a lot of my networking before this was all face-to-face in London, in Edinburgh. And now it's being transferred into these Zoom type calls, is catching up with people through LinkedIn and really cementing the relationships we've built up and trying to get new relationships built up as well with
So I can understand building the relationships you've got. How are you building the relationships which are fresh, brand new?
We do a lot of posts on LinkedIn. So we will curate content from the property related news online, and we'll share that on our social media channels, and people will engage. I was asked just at the weekend to comment on someone's article they'd written as well, and they'd obviously just been following my posts, the Property Angels posts on LinkedIn, on social media as well. So I think it's seeing where there are synergies and then asking them to join in these meetings and build that rapport over a 20-minute call, and then just starting to build that relationship, whether that's next week or a month, or then when things become better, meeting them face to face again.
Okay, so is there anything else you're doing on social media? Are you stepping up on social media? Are you increasing the number of posts? Or is there anything else which differently you've done? You said social media is really key to the Property Angel.
Yeah. Our advisory board and I had a meeting last week, and for us, content is king. We have a number of videos that we have that are still relevant from when we did them last year. We're going to roll these out over the coming weeks as well. So those would be dealing with when you are thinking of buying, thinking of selling, but also we're starting to record a number of videos about reactions to other commentators in the market. Do you believe that there's going to be a house price crash? What do you do in the meantime to get your house ready for hopefully the upturn? And also we're looking for opportunities, development opportunities right across the country as well. So
can we focus on that a little bit more? So you're focused on development opportunities.
Yeah. So we have a couple of opportunities, one in Scotland, one in the south of England, that we're looking at. What for us is important is trying to make sure that we've got the right lenders, we've got the right team together, and that we've got the right investors as well. So again, that is about building these deep foundations with people just now, so that when we're ready to go, everything's in place. We're speaking to the lenders in the meantime. They know what we're looking for. We know what we have got in place as well, Brendan. So that's it. It's really just about putting those little nuggets out in social media, and people do respond to them. It's been really encouraging to see just how people do take notice on social media.
So when you say development opportunities, geographically, are we talking Scotland or England, or mixed?
It's both. We've got one in Scotland, and we've got one in England as well. So at very early stage, can't say too much more about it just now, but we're always looking to work with, whether it's a property sourcer or if it's an individual who thinks they have something that would be of interest to potential investors, but don't know how to package it as well. I have been involved in 6 developments myself with a business partner, and those range from flipping properties to refurbishing an old bank building into 17 units, to refurbishing an attic into 4 units and selling those as well. So I have a fair amount of experience in the smaller developments, and can offer that experience to first time or second time developers as well.
So in terms of the development opportunities, is it purely residential that you're open to, or commercial?
I think it's both. I think at this moment in time, again, you know, we know our limitations at the moment. We know our experience. So I have got a portfolio myself of residential and commercial properties. So I know what needs to be done within those smaller size developments. But also I'm keen to get involved with other people who maybe are a step ahead of that in terms of size, and work with them to in those joint ventures as well. So we're not quite at the stage where we're doing the build to rent of 100 to 150 units, but yeah, we would look to joint venture with anyone in the similar area.
And when you say Scotland, Kevin, because that's a wide area as well, is it purely Glasgow or Edinburgh or major cities, or any?
Yeah. At the moment, it's close to major cities. The one we've got is about 15 miles out of Edinburgh. Good commuter town, and opportunity there for 8 units to be converted from commercial site.
So look, just the final questions. In terms of people reaching out to you, you can reach out to Kevin on social media. What's your preferred method of communication?
I mean, if people want to email me, I'm quite happy to engage that way. Kevin at thepropertyangel.com. Yeah, you know, it's on my phone, it's on my laptop, it's never far away. Even if ever we get on holiday again, it's not far away.
And in terms of opportunities, what opportunities are you open to? So people hearing this, is it development deals which you're particularly open to? What are you really open to over the next week, next month? Who knows how long we're going to be in this lockdown?
Yeah, I think what I've come across, Brendan, is that people with money out there and maybe don't have the experience. So they've got the money to invest, but they want to work with a team who have been involved in this. So that's potential investors who are, you know, there are 2 types. There's people who want to be hands-on and learn, and there are people who just want to say, here's the money, I just want a return on my money. And also those individuals who have identified potentially a development opportunity. They don't really know what to do with it. And we're happy to get involved with them, speak to them, guide them and support them, potentially on a consultancy basis. And, you know, we can help with the team that needs to be put around that as well. So investors and potential early stage developers, Brendan, that's really what we're looking at.
So, Kevin, I just want to say a massive thanks for taking time out today. I just want to say a massive thanks to the listeners. And my call to action is, if you've got an interesting story to share, like Kevin, feel free to get in contact with me via my email address, which is brendan@bequinevents.com. You can connect with me on most platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, not really TikTok. So I gave up on TikTok within I think 12 hours, to be fair. So massive thanks, Kevin.
No problem, Brendan. Thank you very much.
To the listeners out there as well. Thank you.
Good stuff. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Kevin. So
Cheers.
thank you. Bear with me.